Hey everyone, Jesse here from Fresh Spaces. I've got 4 whole minutes to cover just a tiny little bit about something that we do and try to make everyone understand it. This week we've got something that forms the foundation of what we do. This week we're talking about insulated concrete forms. I'll start this off by saying that we don't use ICF for every foundation that we do, and that's because of various things, like site conditions or energy goals or aesthetic goals. But in this video I'll be talking about a full height basement with living space, so generally something that you would use an ICF block for, and the advantages that go along with that. So generally, traditional concrete foundation walls are 8 inches thick. They're formed with plywood, which is supported by wailers, which are the horizontal 2x4s, and strongbacks, which are the vertical 2x4s, which go outside of the wailers. And these together form the reinforcement for those plywood forms. When you pour the concrete in them, they keep them all plumb and nice. After the concrete cures, you peel away all that wood, and sometimes you can reuse it for more concrete pours, sometimes it's used in the construction of the home, and sometimes it's discarded if it's broken or messed up. All in all, it's a lot of work to form things traditionally, as you have the time to form, you have the time to strip the forms, you have to deal with all the waste and stuff that comes with it, and they're fine, but at the end of the day, you're just left with like an 8-inch concrete wall, uninsulated. It's fine if you're using it for like backfill or attainment, or uninsulated structures. But with an ICF block, so insulated concrete form, we have here an Endura block. You'll see that this is a completed form in itself. It's these stacked like big Lego blocks, and they interlock with the plastic tabs that they have, and they become their own system. There's no plywood, there's no wailers, anything like that. You use about 1 brace every 6 feet, so it's incredibly minimal compared to traditional formwork. And that's it. No stripping, very little waste. The biggest advantage of these blocks, as you can see, from a building science perspective, is they have a continuous layer of insulation both on the inside and the outside of the concrete. And that means a few things. So it means no thermal bridging, no studs if you had to frame up a traditional wall on the inside. There's nothing with a lower insulation value in here. It can't conductively transfer heat very effectively. So you don't have to, build a whole frame wall for drywall backing, because these have drywall backing on the inside. They have drywall, or they have siding backing on the outside. You can screw right into them. They're rot-proof, and because they're EPS insulation, they're actually recyclable, believe it or not. And another advantage that most people don't realize is that wet-cured concrete, so when you wet-cure concrete, you mean you keep it wet for the entire time it's curing, which happens in an ICF wall by nature because the inside and outside are waterproof. You get about a 50% stronger concrete. It's a much more structural concrete. So we live in a pretty seismic zone. It can definitely be advantageous to have a little bit more strength in your concrete. It certainly doesn't hurt. We like the insulation, we like all that sort of stuff, all that funky nerdy building science stuff, but one of the bigger advantages from a labor perspective is the fact that these things, they don't weigh very much. A sheet of 3/4 plywood that you form with normally weighs about 62 pounds, and these weigh anywhere from 3.5 to 10 pounds. So framers are tough people, and they're strong, and they really like what they do a lot of the time, but you spend a day doing traditional form ply work, and you spend a day doing this stuff, and you feel a lot better at the end of the day doing ICF. So that's it. It's faster, it's easier on the body, stronger concrete, better insulation, no risk of rot, it's airtight, and the cost is actually pretty comparable if you use it properly. You gotta plan your design out a little bit more to minimize the amount of corners and things like that, but that's what we do. So again, not for every project, but in a project where you can use it, it's awesome. So if you understand something, or the advantage of this a little bit more because of this video, send it to someone. And if you want to come down and talk forever about this stuff, feel free. I got a cup of coffee for you.